Alright, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Makakadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there, unto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Long may brothers be edified. And we just go to the script and then go from there. It says, Isaiah 54:16, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. And what is that smith? Back in the ancient world, you had blacksmiths, which would take steel and make weapons, or could make a horseshoe, or could make anything by pulling the coal in the fire, all right, and setting it at a particular temperature and then beating it into a shape that the smith desires. So who's a modern day smith? These scientists. Ever since 1948, when Esau, the wise men of Teman, was able to split the atom. All right, America, Britain, and Russia had split the German scientists. One was able to split the atom, the other one was for missile defense. And I believe they all eventually had the same technology. So the modern day smith is the scientist, all right, from Robert Oppenheimer, who stated an old proverb, not of the scriptures, but a proverb of the Indian goddess, I become the destroyer of worlds. Okay, these are the modern day smiths. It says, behold, I created the smith. So who did that? The Most High created these smiths. He created these scientists. He gave them the knowledge to split the atom, from splitting the atom to splitting the nucleus, to a point where it became a chain reaction, that they had to store it into metal missiles, which I like to say mechanical death angels. All right, to store that ferocious power that they was trying to achieve. It says, behold, I created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. Now, what is that instrument? This instrument is ICBM nuclear missiles. Because the way the old world went from catapults to cannons, okay, to cannons to actual bullets, from bullets to bombs, all right, where the planes had to actually fly over its target at a certain height and drop a bomb. So they was given the idea to propel a missile from one area to another. So technology of that great massive destruction has advanced very high. All right, to the point of from one continent to another continent, just by a push of a button. And that by the push of the button, I believe they said, Apostle Ramna has sent it, which was the thing about the first broken arrow, when the U.S. almost nuked itself. They would say that there's certain stages. I believe there was like 5 stages, and each checkpoint had to, I think it was more than 5, but each checkpoint had to get the green light in order for the missile actually to destroy. So the Lord advanced that technology so much as an instrument, all right, for his work. So all this what's going on in the world today, which I'm going to get to the video, is for the Lord's working, all right? And it says, and I have created the waster to destroy. So that great waster is those ICBM nuclear missiles. And it goes back to Isaac blessing Esau with the sword. Esau being that red horse with that great sword. So now I'm gonna go to this a little bit, which is this is a good listen. All right, I'm just gonna go to the point where he was breaking down.
Oblast, about 3,000 kilometers east of Moscow. According to Rosagin, in an interview in state-run TV, Roscosmos will build 46 of the Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missiles as announced. A total of 46 will be built. They will be placed in silos, replacing the Virodata missiles, said the spokesman. Also, the Avangard polyphonic warheads. At the same time, the new Russian RS-28 Sarmat missiles can carry Avangard multi-sound warhead. The ballistic intercontinental ballistic missiles will be able to leave the multi-sounding and unstoppable, according to the Russian heads, to be directed independently to their targets. So they're having warheads that can independently find their own targets. The Sarmat can carry a weapons load of up to 10 tons or 10 heavy or 15 lighter multiple vehicle entry missiles, warheads, or 3 Avangard multi-sounding missiles, or a combination of all of the above. It has countermeasures to deal with the...
So he's basically giving a run. Well, not a. It was a long thing. That's why I was just trying to hit to the point. But he's basically stating that the new missiles that's being made by the Russians are beyond smart. They are beyond smart missiles. All right. So when you break down the history, how the U.S. this was all about offense, and the Russians are keen on defense, and that's what this whole thing's about. Basically, the USSR, which is the Russia Foundation right now, okay, has stated that they are protecting Moscow from any ICBM nuclear missiles. So they're on defense mode, okay, and they're preparing not only for defense, they're also preparing for offense as well, especially offense, but they have a lot of offensive missiles. So if you've been living under a rock, if you don't know what's going on, the U.S. I mean not the U.S. but Russia and NATO is about to go head to head. All right, and Russia is preparing itself for a nuclear strike by NATO. So he's basically saying, in a nutshell, what's going on. But there's more to it. There's a key thing I wanted to get. But he said each missile has that could find its target. All right. Each missile is not gonna miss its target. It says, oh, let's go. Let this thing go a little bit. It's locked here.
The enemy air defense, and is not easily detected by U.S. surveillance and defense systems.
So that what scripture that reminds you that cannot be easily detected by U.S. Defenses? Well, that goes to Ezekiel. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. That wasn't part of the thing because I want to make this short, but it's prophetic. Ezekiel 38, I think it's 12 or 14. I jumped too quick. Ezekiel 38, and go to the point. Right, going to the point. Ezekiel 38, 11. And thou shalt say, I will go up into the land of the unwalled village. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, having no bars, no gates. So when you read this entire chapter, it's basically telling you that evil thought that came into the minds of Gog and Magog. And Gog and Magog so happens to be Russia. And that evil thought is to shoot those missiles. All right? To shoot those missiles to destroy that land, that unprotected land. So here it is, America. We're here in America. And these American people are not even concerned about what's going on in geopolitics, because geopolitics is going to lead to this destruction. But in Russia, their citizens are being prepared for the worst possible outcome that it is. Well, over here, it's business as usual. Okay, and anybody knows, well, in the ancient world, they always had walls in major cities, so that no invasion can take place. So, but America has no sort of walls, no missile defense system to protect this place. All right, and to hear it clear right now, 2022, May, that Russia is preparing for a nuclear strike in Moscow to protect Moscow. They have anti-ballistic missiles. That says it all right there. They're prepared, but here they're not prepared. But let this thing play off a little bit. Let me get to the point.
The Sarmat was specifically designed to penetrate any current or future ballistic missile defense system of NATO and the United States. According to some estimates, the impressive range of the missile reaches 18,000 kilometers. Finally, the launch preparation of the RS-28 Sarmat system is less than 60 seconds, using a highly automated...
Hey, the scripture says what? This is going to take 1 hour. All right? So they prepping, man. They prepping. They're prepping for all hell to break loose.
System, which means that in a short time it can be fired to hit the enemy. The Russians also intend to protect the RS-28 Sarmat with the new S-500 air defense systems. So this is what Russia is developing right now. They are getting ready, it looks like, to enclose the entire area of Moscow with the S-500 and also the Prometheus, the RS-28 Sarmat. Folks, this Satan II missile, or the Sarmat 28, is estimated that the destructive power can eliminate the state of Texas. One of these Sarmat missiles can destroy the whole state of Texas. So they're building 46 of these missiles, almost one for each state in the United States.
Almost for one of each state in the United States. And Texas is huge. So basically, Russia has enough missiles, all right, these Satan IIs, to hit every single state in the United States. Now, does that sound like something to be, to take lightly? No. One Satan II is enough to destroy Texas, and Texas is huge. All right, and this is proven that what we've been saying through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua all these years, that from the apostles on down, have been saying, it's coming to light. It's coming to fruition. All right, each of these missiles is going to hit its target. That is designed to hit its target, which proves that this is out of the control. Everything that's happening is in the control of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. Isaiah 5, I believe it's 26. I'll start at 26, but the point is, I'm going to read down. It says, and he will lift up an ensign to the nations from far, and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth. And behold, they shall come with speed swiftly. Who's they? It's not talking about men. It's not talking about armies or airlines. It's talking about missiles. It says, none shall be weary, none stumble among them. There's not gonna have no missile defense problems. One missile is not gonna hit another missile. All right, it's not gonna have an EMP that's gonna stop these missiles from hitting their targets. It says, none shall slumber nor sleep, neither shall the gird of their loins be loosed. All right, no de facto, nothing. Once these missiles be shot up, they're gonna hit their targets. As we heard, that's what the man said. They're smartly designed missiles. Okay, it says, nor latch shall their shoes be broken, whose arrows are sharp, and all their bows bent. Their horses' hoofs shall be counted like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind. Their roaring shall be like a lion. When the sound comes, they shall roar like young lions. Yea, they shall roar and lay hold of their prey. So if a missile is designed to hit New York City, that missile is going to hit New York City. If a missile is down at Jersey, that's going to hit Jersey. If it's going to hit the whole East Coast, each missile is going to hit the East Coast, the West Coast, so forth. He just said out of his own mouth, they're making 46 of them. Now, we already know there's 48 states in the United States. But Hawaii and Alaska are the other two states that's outside of it. So all they got to make is 2 more missiles. And it's going to hit its target. All right? It's going to hit its target. It says, lay hold of their prey, shall carry it away safe, and none will deliver it. So nobody's going to be able to stop these missiles from once it's hitting its target, is about to hit its target. This is designed by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I find it kind of obviously spiritual, but it's kind of ironic that they're talking about ICBM nuclear missiles at this time. And when you watch the rest of the video, he's basically talking about World War III. He also talks about Iran and Israel and how Israel is planning to attack Iran and the U.S. is going to be backing out Israel. He's basically saying World War III. All right? We are in the time of World War III. Verse 30 says, in that day they shall roar against them like a roaring of the sea. And if one look unto the land, behold darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened, and the heavens thereof. So once these missiles hit, like it says in Isaiah the 34th chapter, that scroll, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. To the point, 34:5. It says, for my soul shall be bathed in heaven. All right. Behold, it shall come upon Idumea, upon the people of my curse, to judgment. So the Lord is going to, matter of fact, I should have went up. The whole chapter is bad. Let me start at 1. It says, come near, O ye nations, to hear, and hearken ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all the things that come forth of it. So everybody is supposed to hear about this future. You don't have to go to psychic reading. You don't have to go to anything. You're getting this for free. All right? When we go out on the highways and byways, we're telling people this, the near future for free, what's going to happen. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. What is indignation? Righteous anger. The righteous anger of the Lord is upon all nations. All right? And the great equalizer, all right, the great waster, the great power, the wrath of the Lord is going to be displayed in these missiles. It says, and his fury upon all the armies, and he utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. The slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. The mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall roll together as a scroll. What is that? That was a fancy way, a way that he only could understand it and say it, and that's what a mushroom crowd. All right. the mushroom cloud that's going to America's going to be devastated by missiles. All right, and it's going to look like a scroll, because the ancient scrolls, it wasn't like a book. It was, you had to open it all the way, and that's what's going to end up happening. All right, Isaiah didn't understand what a mushroom cloud was at that time. It says, and all the hosts shall fall down as a leaf falling off from the vine, as a falling fig from a fig tree. So a fig from a fig tree, untimely, if it's shaken, is gonna, all of it's gonna come down all at once, and that's what's gonna end up happening. All right. It says, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven; behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, upon the people of my curse to judgment." So all this is the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai on the people of whose curse? The Most High's curse. And the people of the Most High's curse is Esau, Edom. All right. The Lord's going to use Esau, Edom to destroy Esau, Edom, to destroy them goddamn selves. Because America's going to shoot their missiles at Russia. NATO's going to shoot their missiles at America. It's going to be all out. Even certain missiles of America is going to be shooting, is going to fall on itself. The Lord has a perfect hatred for this place. Okay? Real quick. Must bring this out. Jeremiah 50, 23. It says, Jeremiah 50 and 22. It says, a sound of the battles is in the land, and a great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? Who is the hammer of the earth? America. All right. America is the hammer of the earth. America is the empire. Babylon the Great. All right. This is the warmongering state of the elites that polices the whole entire world. Okay. And it's been, what does a hammer does? Yeah, a hammer could fix things, but a hammer beats things down. And it has been beating down the whole world. This is the only nation that dropped a devastating bomb like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Fat Man? Yeah, Fat Boy. I think it was Fat Man and Little Boy. On those places. It's the only nation that did that. All right. And ever since that point on, they've been beating down the rest of the nations. But the scriptures is, how is the hammer of the earth cut asunder and broken? Meaning, they're gonna lose everything. Okay? How is Babylon become desolation and among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee. And what's a snare? A trap. And thou art also taken. And they take it into that trap. And this whole entire time, everybody's like, oh, they either they believe the hype that's going on in Ukraine, or they could clearly see it, that America is pushing Putin into this war to make Russia to be the aggressor. But in reality, it was a trap that was laid out before them. All right, and that great trap is, once this thing start going, there's no coming back out of it. It's going to lead to those ICBM nuclear missiles destroying America. It says, "O Babylon, and thou was not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast strive against the Lord." So they're not even aware of why they start what they started. Yes, strategically, they start a war in Ukraine that pretty much starves the world. That pretty much makes U.S. look like the non-aggressor, because it's all about how they want to carry themselves. But it also makes Russia look like they're the aggressor. But guess what? You only could fool certain parts of the world. Everybody else could see right through it. And this is all a trap from the Heavenly Father. All right? And they don't know what kind of war that they're getting themselves into. I always, through the Spirit, I always say this. They were better off in those dark rooms in a dark council before they let everything out. Now there's no return. So now if the U.S., and it's the same guy right here, he was said it too, that the U.S. is gonna back up Israel, which we know. Once they do that, that's it. That's trap. Trap is set. Because now you're gonna have the wrath of God and Magog on you. You're gonna have the wrath of China, Iran. All right. Once they go into Iran, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Okay. Let me finish this off. It says, verse 25: the Lord hath opened his armory and brought forth the weapons of his indignation. And those weapons of his indignation, his righteous anger, is ICBM nuclear missiles, which now Russia's in a mass production to make those Satan tools by the abundance. So that's part of the Lord's armory. That's also goes into plagues and so forth. You name it. This is all part of the Lord's army. What's in the Lord's armory? But we stick it to those ICBM nuclear missiles. So Russia's prepared to defend themselves, and they're prepared to shoot forth arrows towards NATO and the EU and America. All right? For this is the work of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. So, like the man said, going back to what he said,
the first unit later, multiple vehicle entry missiles, warheads, or 3 Avangard multi-sounding missiles, or a combination of all of the above. It has countermeasures to deal with the enemy air defense and is not easily detected by U.S. surveillance and defense systems. The Sarmat was specifically designed to penetrate any current or future ballistic missile defense system of NATO and the United States. According to some estimates,
basically, they're making a missile so bad that NATO and the EU cannot defend themselves. All right, that's what it basically means. Okay, but
the impressive range of the missile reaches 18,000 kilometers. Finally, the launch preparation of the RS-28 Sarmat system is less than 60 seconds, using a highly automated system, which means that in a short time it can be fired to hit the enemy. The Russians also intend to protect the RS-28 Sarmat with the new S-500 air defense systems. So this is what Russia is developing right now. They are getting ready, it looks like, to enclose the entire area of Moscow with the S-500 and also the Prometheus, the RS-28 Sarmat. Folks, this Satan II missile, or the Sarmat 28, is estimated that the destructive power can eliminate the state of Texas. One of these Sarmat missiles can destroy the whole state of Texas. So they're building 46 of these missiles, almost one for each state in the United States. So folks, I do believe that the United States is going to do some preemptive attack, or try to do some preemptive attack on Russia before Russia manufactures all of these defense systems and these new intercontinental ballistic missiles. I think we're going to hit them. We're going to hit them hard with everything that we got. And I think this is coming up soon, folks. We're going to take them out before they can mass produce these 46 missiles. I do believe that. So that's just my opinion. Will it happen? I don't know. I do have a right to my opinion. But everything is looking like that we are heading headlong into World War III. And I'm not trying to scare you folks. I document everything that we say on our channel. We will leave all of these links in the description box. So let's go on to another article. Our next article.
There you go. Hey, all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai Shem Yakakadash. The honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And we almost out of here. Shalom.